Level 1. The signature. You are 18, holding a pen over an 18X contract. The risk begins before training does. One failure can end this route before it begins. The paper does not make you special forces, it makes you a candidate for the chance to be assessed. That difference will follow you through every gate. You have a diploma, your record clears review, your test scores meet the published line. You are young enough to enter the route. Those boxes only open the first door. They do not promise what waits behind it. Your family hears Green Beret. You hear dates, orders, and a one-way bus ride. You trade a familiar life for a pipeline that can redirect you whenever you stop meeting its needs. You are not joining a movie, you are joining the army first. The first cost is certainty. You give it up before anyone asks you to carry a rucksack. Level 2. Infantry training. Your new world lasts 22 weeks. Infantry 1. Station unit training combines basic soldiering with infantry skills. You learn to move when tired, maintain equipment, follow orders, and function beside people you did not choose. Your days stop belonging to you. A whistle, a light, or a voice decides when you move. Mud follows you indoors. Sleep never feels finished. The lesson is larger than any single task. You must become dependable when comfort disappears. You gain a uniform and a team. You lose the excuse that nobody showed you how. Every correction now has a purpose. Your habits affect the person beside you. This gate is not Special Forces selection. It is the foundation under it. If the foundation cracks, the dream written on your contract cannot hold you up. Level 3. Airborne School. You arrive with infantry training behind you and a new fear overhead. At Airborne School, you practice exits, landings, and emergency procedures until the actions feel automatic. The aircraft is louder than you expected. Your equipment pulls at your shoulders. Then the line moves. The open door stops being an idea. It becomes cold air and empty space. You step when told. Training turns panic into sequence. Check your body. Control the descent. Meet the ground correctly. Stand up and account for your equipment. You earn wings, but the wings are not the prize you came for. They prove you can perform a rehearsed task while your body demands hesitation. That confidence matters. The next gate will remove the script. Level 4. Preparation. You enter the Special Operations Forces Preparation course. The current public 18X path describes 4 weeks here before assessment and selection. You run, you ruck, you build strength, you recover, then do it again. The official preparation handbook treats readiness as a system. Endurance without judgment is incomplete. Strength without recovery breaks down. Motivation without consistency expires. Your classmates begin to separate into 2 groups. Some chase one spectacular workout, others build repeatable days. You learn to become the second kind. You also learn that pain carries information. Some discomfort is ordinary effort. Some signals injury. Ignoring every signal is not toughness. Quitting at every signal is not judgment. You must decide while tired, and you must live with the decision. Preparation gives you no secret map of selection. It gives you a body and mind less likely to betray each other when the map disappears. Level 5. SFAS. You reach Special Forces Assessment and Selection. The Army publicly describes it as 24 days testing physical and mental stamina. The schoolhouse has described the assessment more broadly. Physical ability, intellect, social behavior, and character are considered together. That changes everything. You cannot pass by becoming the loudest person in the group. You cannot hide forever behind the strongest person either. Cadre watch how you work, how you recover, and how you affect the team. You carry weight, you navigate, you solve problems with incomplete information. Fatigue makes every small irritation feel personal. A teammate moves too slowly, another talks too much. Your private frustration becomes visible through your choices. This gate tests trainability and suitability, not just suffering. You can finish a hard event and still reveal that nobody should depend on you. You can lead one moment and support the next. You must know the difference. At the end, effort does not force a selection decision. Your contract bought a chance to be measured. It did not buy the answer. If selected, you do not become a Green Beret. You become a student with farther to fall. Level 6. Orientation. You enter the Special Forces Qualification course. The current recruiting summary describes a 53-week course, though specialty and scheduling can change the path. Orientation strips away the fantasy. Special Forces is not one job performed by identical operators. It is a regiment built from specialties, regional knowledge, language, planning, and small team trust. You study the mission. You learn why unconventional warfare depends on people, not only weapons. You see how command, intelligence, medicine, engineering, communications, and tactical skill must fit together. You gain context. You also inherit a harder standard. A mistake is no longer only yours. It can break a plan another specialist depends on. The gate asks a quieter question. Can you replace the image in your head with the work actually required? Level 7. Your specialty, your background, aptitude, and army needs help determine your track. Entry-level candidates move toward weapons, engineering, medical, or communications work. Officers follow their own qualification role. If you train in weapons, you must understand systems well enough to use and teach them. If you train as an engineer, you learn to build, assess, and solve technical problems. If you train in medicine, the body becomes a problem you may need to stabilize far from a hospital. If you train in communications, a team can become isolated when your systems fail. Your specialty gives you value. It also removes excuses. When the team turns toward you, someone else knows is no longer an answer. You study until details survive fatigue. You practice until your hands can support your thinking. Every test asks whether knowledge remains usable under pressure. Promotion through this gate means becoming the person responsible for one piece of the team's survival. Level 8. Seer and tactical skill. The public course description includes survival, evasion, resistance, and escape training. It also includes tactical development. The details are controlled, but the purpose is plain. You must remain useful when the plan collapses. You learn that equipment can disappear, communications can fail, weather can erase your schedule, distance can punish a small planning error for hours. You move with a team, then review what the team did. Every shortcut leaves evidence. Every mischeck grows teeth later. You begin to see discipline as protection, not ceremony. You also face a moral weight. Resistance training is not permission to become reckless. Tactical skill is not a license to seek danger. Your job is to preserve the mission, your teammates, and the people whose trust you may need. At this gate, toughness becomes restraint. You prove that pressure does not get to choose your values for you. Level 9. The team problem. Individual competence is no longer enough. You enter exercises where several specialties must produce one answer. You receive a problem with missing pieces. Time moves while you argue. The medic sees one risk, the engineer sees another. Communications limits the plan. Leadership must decide without pretending uncertainty has vanished. You speak when your expertise matters. You stop speaking when someone else owns the better answer. You explain clearly enough that a partner can act. You check whether your message was understood. This is the social gate, hidden inside the military one. The strongest plan fails when nobody trusts the planner. The fastest person becomes a burden when they abandon the group. You gain influence by making other people more capable. You lose the need to be the hero in every frame. Level 10. Pineland. You enter Robin Sage, the public culmination exercise set in the fictional country of Pineland. Army accounts describe military and civilian role players spread through North Carolina communities. They create a resistance environment filled with competing needs and incomplete information. You cannot solve this world by charging at every obstacle. You must meet people, read motives, build relationships, and help a partner force operate. Your specialty matters, but so does culture. A technically perfect answer can fail if nobody accepts it. The exercise keeps moving. A promise creates another obligation. A rushed decision changes the next meeting. Your team must plan, communicate, and adapt while the fictional conflict pushes back. This is the gate where the course becomes a whole. Infantry discipline, airborne confidence, selection judgment, specialty knowledge, tactical skill, and human trust must appear together. Pineland is imaginary. The responsibility it rehearses is not. Level 11. Language and culture. The qualification path includes language and cultural training because Special Forces teams work with people whose world may not resemble yours. You sit with unfamiliar sounds until they become meaning. Progress feels slow. A phrase that took minutes becomes a sentence. A sentence becomes a conversation. The work demands humility because confidence cannot manufacture comprehension. You learn that translation is more than swapping words. Tone matters. History matters. status matters. Silence can carry meaning too. Your tactical skill may open a door. Your ability to listen decides whether the relationship survives after you enter. At this gate, authority comes from understanding. You are being prepared to work beside partners, not perform over them. Level 12. The Green Beret. You reach graduation. The Special Forces tab and Green Beret are finally placed within reach. Your family sees the symbol that began this journey. You know what it cost. 22 weeks built the soldier. Airborne school tested controlled action. Preparation built repeatability. 24 days of selection measured more than strength. Qualification turned you into a specialist. Pineland forced every piece to work together. But the final gate is not a finish line. You may be assigned to a Special Forces group and eventually join an Operational Detachment Alpha, a 12-person team built from complementary roles. Now, fewer people can check your work. The consequences grow while supervision shrinks. Your teammates expect competence. Partner forces expect judgment. Families expect you to return. You entered wanting to prove that you were exceptional. You leave understanding something harder. The beret does not make you the main character. It marks your obligation to the team. Every earlier gate asked whether you could continue. This one asks whether others should trust you when continuing becomes dangerous. You put on the green beret. Then the real work begins.